A rainy day like this demands a movie night. But what to watch? Everything seems so plain and unmasterful. The average blockbuster just doesn't seem to fill my need. That's what she said. I need cinema. Why, hello there. Foxtail Cinematics here. Why don't you join me on my journey to Barnes & Noble? Come along, and let's see what we'll find. As you can see, the Criterion 50% off deal is in full swing. Now normally I don't like to go to Barnes & Noble, but I hear that if you do not own any Criterions, you are not a real film lover. So here I am.
Oh hell no!
A Descent into the Maelstrom. Classic. Oh, hello. I didn't see you there. Just catching up on a little literature. Welcome to the greatest Criterion Haul on YouTube. Yes, you heard that correct. For this video, I thought we'd take it into a little bit of a more intimate setting, warmer lighting, so I can show you guys my Criterion Haul. Now, this is actually my very first time owning anything from the Criterion collection, so now I am officially part of the upper echelon of film buffs. We have Ghost Dog, directed by Jim Jarmusch, which is honestly my favorite performance by Forest Whitaker. It is something of an enigma of a film, and I truly mean that. Because it is a gangster film, it is a samurai film, and it is also a, urban drama, if you will, in the likes of say, Boys in the Hood or Menace to Society. And I had always hoped that one day we would get a Blu-ray release of this, and lo and behold, Criterion did get a hold of it, and they put out what I think is a damn good release. It's packed with special features, including a new Q&A with the director, and it also has a new 4K digital restoration, which looks absolutely fantastic. I've seen the DVD many times, but the transfer on this Blu-ray is amazing. Forest Whitaker plays a character named Ghost Dog, who is an assassin for the mob. And when he assassinates this higher level mob boss, the other mob bosses don't like that. So they ask his handler, who, is a member of this mob, to find Ghost Dog and kill him. But the thing is that Ghost Dog is very loyal and will not kill his master. But because the mob bosses are after him, Ghost Dog has to protect himself, which leads into him pretty much trying to kill all these mob bosses so he can be left alone. So we have some disc art here, which is pretty cool. I do like that. So everyone likes it when you show the inside artwork of the Criterion. These are some pigeons if you cannot see. We also have the Hagakure, the Book of the Samurai, which details all of the lessons that we learn of the Way of the Samurai from Forest Whitaker's character throughout the film. There's little title cards. Throughout the movie, you get little title cards and Forest Whitaker's voiceover, which is awesome. A lot of behind the scenes pictures of the characters on set. The film has one of my favorite friendships ever to be put on screen. It is a friendship between Ghost Dog and a French ice cream vendor. Ghost Dog does not speak a word of French, and the ice cream vendor doesn't speak any English, but they have this really good connection and camaraderie. They play chess with each other pretty much every day, and they consider each other best friends, yet neither of them know what the other is saying. And I found that to be just extremely intriguing. But even though they couldn't speak the same language, they just have this connection and know what each other is thinking, and I just love that so much. It's a very unique friendship that I haven't seen in any film. So that was Ghost Dog, The Way of the Samurai, directed by Jim Jarmusch. So these next three films, in my opinion, are the greatest trilogy of all time, and that is Richard Linklater's the Before trilogy. I have been wanting this on Blu-ray for the longest time. The only Blu-ray that was released for this trilogy was Before Midnight back in 2013. So we have all three films. We first have Before Sunrise, Before Sunset, and Before Midnight. The best trilogy out there. And I say that with a lot of confidence because I truly believe that. There are tons and tons of fantastic trilogies out there, but to me, there's always that one or maybe even two that just aren't that great. And in my opinion, every single one of these films is fantastic. A+, 5 stars, 5 coffee mugs. Before Sunrise tells a tale of Celine and Jesse who meet on a train headed for Paris. They stop in Vienna, walk around, have a great conversation, and pretty much end up kind of falling for each other. And at the end, they vow to meet one another in the same place 6 months later. The Before trilogy is also kind of an enigma in a way that I think the Ghost Dog is, because there really hasn't been a romance trilogy out there, at least not that I've seen. All three movies is just two people walking around having conversation. And for something like that to work, you have to have writing that is absolutely top-notch, which Richard Linklater is a master of. And the even more ambitious part is that all three films take place 9 years after each other, and they were also released 9 years after each other. So moving on, in Before Sunset, Jesse and Celine meet up 9 years later, where Jesse has written a book about their encounter that night in Vienna, and Celine shows up to his book signing, where they have a conversation and catch up. In Before Midnight, they are still together 9 years later. Now they are in their 40s with children. They're facing a lot of the typical issues that a couple that has been together that long face. You know, a lot of trials, a lot of tribulations, a lot of arguments. And the conversation is all about, you know, pretty much just reflecting on the past. They have to come to terms that they're not these, you know, two young kids who met on a train anymore. They're together, they're parents, you know, but they still have two different ways of thinking, and the romance is seemingly fading away. Here is the booklet for the Before trilogy, filled with awesome pictures from the film. If you haven't watched these films, go ahead and check them out. They are absolutely fantastic. So that was my Criterion haul from Barnes & Noble. I hope you enjoyed that. This was $70 right here. That's a lot of money for someone like me. I'm sorry, but I just don't have the resources to, you know, buy 10 Criterions like you've probably seen in a lot of other videos. I'm not made of money.